Hey, what's going on, everybody? Are going to be playing Pokemon Silver, and just like I did with Kanto, we're going to be playing it with the worst team. So, I'll eat this one. And so, yeah, I decided to do this in Pokemon Crystal. Let's see, what time is it, actually? Well, I don't seem to have my phone nowhere. Come on now. Alright, you know what? See, it is 2:49 p.m. So, day 2. And I always put it a minute ahead. Now, in case you haven't seen my previous series, there's a YouTuber by the name of Mystic Umbreon. I'm going to be linking his video in the description about this. And, well, I don't know specifically what he's known for. He's a Pokemon YouTuber. I know him for his team series. That's usually what I watch him for. I think they're pretty cool. I'm just going to go with the default name here. And, in particular, he has a best team series, which he usually talks about the best Pokemon for a given game. He generally tries to keep all 3 games in mind, so there's no version exclusives or anything like that. And he formulates a team based on the rival. No, it is Saturday. I don't know or care if it is daylight savings time. I can never remember. Anyway, he formulates the team based on movesets, stats, Pokemon availability is a pretty big one, I think, because he, like I said, he doesn't do version exclusives. And even if there is a really good Pokemon, but it's super late game, he usually avoids it. Because by the time you get it, it kind of doesn't matter anymore. And it's usually about how well they do versus the gyms, versus your rival, versus the evil team leaders. I don't know if it's just the leaders or the evil team as a whole, but I know specifically the leaders are involved, and the Elite Four members. Now, I think for the Gen 2 series, he specifically also makes an effort to include Kanto, the Kanto post-game. I don't quite remember, but, yeah, and he decided to do a worst team series, the exact opposite. And, well, we're going to be playing through with what he considers to statistically be the worst team in the game. Now, to clarify, I'm not going to be running through the game with, like, a bunch of Magikarp or Sunkern or any stupid thing like that. It's a legitimate team that he has put together to be able to beat the game. We're actually not going to be using our starter. We're going to take the berry away, because I actually want to save it for our first actual Pokemon. But, yeah. I did it with the Kanto game. Specifically, he first did it with the Generation 3 remakes of Red and Blue. And in the second video, the one he did for Johto, it's here in the Gen 2 games, the original Gen 2 games. Now, I had decided to do this in silver instead of crystal, because if I remember correctly, a couple of the Pokemon are a little easier to catch. Like, you find them a little earlier. I could be entirely mistaken. And there's no point in playing silver, but I don't think it's a big deal. Now, this particular series is going to be a bit odd, because in Generation 2 they added, not only did they add a day and night cycle, certain Pokemon can only be found in the morning, certain Pokemon can only be found in the day, and certain Pokemon can only be found at night. We're going to talk to this old man here so we can get our town map. But not only did they add that, but they added the days of the week into the game, and in particular, involving that, there are a group of 7 NPCs that you can encounter throughout your journey. You encounter a different one every week, or every day of the week. And each one gives you a different hold item for your Pokemon, because in Generation 2 they added the ability for Pokemon to hold items. Well, these hold items boost your Pokemon's damage based on, well, it depends on the item, but in particular there's like the Pink Bow that increases your damage with normal type attacks. There's the Poison Barb, which increases your damage with poison type attacks, and so on. I believe there is one for every type in the game. I don't know how to get all of them, but the 7 of them come from these children. Now, I will say, I'm pretty sure I already said it, but I'll repeat it. We are not actually going to be using Chikorita here. It's literally only because in my first series, I actually used a randomizer to start with my first Pokemon that I was supposed to catch, rather than starting with an actual starter. Well, I was too lazy to do that this time. Mostly because I was watching YouTube myself, and then I was like, you know what? I feel like recording some Pokemon. So I'm recording some Pokemon. And I just didn't feel like doing the randomizer thing. But the first Pokemon we're going to catch is actually going to be Sentret. So as soon as we get Pokeballs, we're going to be able to get it immediately. Now, we're still going to keep Chikorita, because we'll need something for Cut. And I figure I'll go ahead and just give it to Chikorita, since I've got it, and I know it can learn Cut. Oh, dude. I came back to heal, I forgot I already healed. My bad. Anyway, we're going to be using a Sentret, the Sentret line, the Hoppip line, we're going to be using Farfetch'd again. We actually used Farfetch'd in the first game. And, what was the other? Let's see, there's Furret, Skiploom, Farfetch'd. Then there's Hypno. Corsola. Look, Weedle's actually fucking me up. I gotta run from it. Son of a bitch. Ah. In case you didn't know, you can find a potion in these flowers here. I actually just realized how lucky I was, because if I had gotten poisoned, I would have been fucked. Anyway, yeah. We're gonna be using those Pokemon. Arbok is the one I was forgetting. Yeah, that's gonna be our team. We can get a lot of them pretty early, actually. I know I can catch Sentret immediately. I can get, I don't know if I can get Hoppip before Falkner, but I know I can get it and Ekans immediately after Falkner, which is the first gym. Corsola I have to fish for, but I only need the Good Rod, and we get the Good Rod in Olivine City, so that's not very far at all, because I can get that before I even fight Morty. I can just skip Morty, walk straight to Olivine City, grab the rod, fish for Corsola, then come back. Alternatively, I can also just wait, but I don't think it'll matter either way. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and grab it when I can. Let's see. I actually don't know. I think he said that you can catch Farfetch'd right outside of Olivine or Ecruteak City, which I think I have to go through that grassy area to get to Olivine City in the first place. So, no big deal. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, really. Let's growl him once. Yeah, that's better. Now, we don't have to win this battle, just like usual with the first rival battle, you don't have to win it. I mean, I'd like to, just to not lose money, but... But I'm not worried about Chikorita's experience or anything like that. Wow, 2 levels. Anyway, with that rude interruption out of the way, let's continue on to Professor Elm. See what the fuck's going on, shall we? I really love the music in the Pokemon games. Especially usually the battle music for most of the trainers and the gym leaders and whatnot. A Pokemon was stolen. Long red hair? Wait a minute. I did battle a trainer like that. I did not happen to get his name though. But just like I did in the first series, you know, just to match it, I'm going to name him Mystic, because he's the guy that inspired the video. So, it seems appropriate, yeah? Alright, let's show him the big discovery. This mystery egg. Yes, it is a Pokemon egg. And Professor Oak did give us a Pokedex for some reason. I will talk to my mom, because I actually do want her to save my money. And the cool part is you actually get Pokeballs in Gen 2. Now, the funny thing is I actually learned this recently. In the original Gen 1 games, Red and Blue, Professor Oak actually will give you 5 Pokeballs for free. But he doesn't do it immediately. I think you have to get to Viridian City, fight your rival for your optional rival fight in going towards the Pokemon League. You can actually fight him there in the very beginning of the game. And if you do that fight and then go back and talk to Professor Oak, he'll, I think he says something about, oh, you don't have any Pokemon yet. Well, you need Pokeballs for that, so here you go. And he'll give you 5 Pokeballs. I never knew that. It's really cool. Now, you do kind of have to go out of your way to get them, but you also have to have not caught any Pokemon at the time. And I think you have to not have any Pokeballs in your inventory. And so, yeah, you've really got to go kind of out of your way. And it's a Sentret, our first Pokemon. It's only level 3, unfortunately, but had I used the randomizer, we would have started with it, and it would have been level 5. Or at this point, it would have at least been level 6, maybe even level 7 or 8. But Sentret's not... I don't know. Like... I hate saying stuff like this, because it feels like I'm bashing the guy. I'm not. But it feels like these worst team things are just... I don't know. Like, Sentret never seemed all that bad. Like, sure, it's not amazing, but... apparently it is actually worse than Raticate, though, so... and we used Raticate in the original. But, now that we have our Sentret... we can use it now. And boy, are we gonna use it. A lot. Because, as I said, I'm pretty sure we can't get our next Pokemon until after Falkner, so... we're actually more than likely going to be using Furret against Falkner. Which is a bit silly, I'll admit, because, Falkner is not that hard. But I'm not gonna sit there and not, fight stuff. Damn. I'm gonna cheat a bit, though. I don't feel bad. They're just wild Pokemon. I don't care. I'm not gonna be doing this against trainers, that's for sure. But for wild Pokemon, I'll swap train to Chikorita. Anyway, we'll probably get Sentret to level 5, level 6, and then we'll move on. Shouldn't be too long. Because once we get him to level 4, he'll probably be able to take out Pidgey, no problem. These level 4 Pidgeys. Because he's already doing alright damage. Granted, that's mostly because Tackle is a stab attack for him versus Chikorita. Ooh, we got crit. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go back and heal. This is gonna take a hot minute for the very beginning here. But once we get Sentret to like level 6, we'll be fine to move on, I think. Hell, we'll probably be fine once we get him to level 5. But given that his first opponent's going to be a Rattata, I don't want to go fight it below level 5. I know it sounds silly, but Tackle's going to be stabbed for him too, so he's going to hurt big time. Now, we also have movesets for these Pokemon that he uses. I don't know if I'll really use the movesets, though. There are a lot of moves I really like on some of the Pokemon, but others I just don't think will be useful. It depends. We'll see. It's a bit early to be talking about that. Alright, we're level 4 now. Maybe now he'll be able to fight something on his own. That's a level 2 Pidgey. He better be able to fight that on his own. Poor Sentret does not appear to be very fast. And he still almost died. Dang it, Sentret. He'll be fine. We'll be fine. Now, when I explore optional areas and whatnot, I'll probably just not record those things. And other than, like, right here, right now, I'll probably grind off screen too. Not record that. Well, like, all the trainer battles and stuff, I'll probably record those, like, on the routes and in the gyms and whatnot. As I've said in the previous series, I don't like skipping things, if I can help it. Unless I'm, maybe I'll skip some trainers to then come back with a Pokemon that I know I'm going to catch soon, and then I'll use that Pokemon against those trainers instead to give it some training. Other than that, alright, you know what? I'm not above this. Fuck it. Potion. All that experience. Oh hey, we learned Defense Curl. That's neat. That's actually gonna be useful at some point. Because, I believe... No, that was on Corsola. Never mind. I was remembering one of the Pokemon was supposed to learn Rollout, actually. And there's sort of a hidden mechanic with Rollout. If you use Defense Curl first, Rollout will actually do more damage. So Centric learning Defense Curl, not only on its own, but at level 5, that would have been really useful. Especially if the next move he learns is Rollout. I don't know if Centric does learn Rollout at all, though. I've only used Centric, like, once. And I didn't use him for very long, either. Centric's a cool little Pokemon, though. I like it, so far. We'll have to see how it does. Now, we're going to use the machine here to heal our Pokemon. Since we were already on this side. And now that we're level 5, I think it's time we journey to Violet City. I don't want to wait till level 6. I think I'm going to push Sentret a little harder. Oh hey, a Rattata. Well, here's a trial run. I think what I'll do, since I have Defense Curl, let's see, that did 7 damage, jeez. I think what I'll do is I'll use a Defense Curl and then start tackling. I think I'm going to do that against his buddy that's got the Pidgey too, since I know Pidgey can't lower my stats or anything. I can use Defense Curl on it safely. And it's only level 2, so it's not going to be doing that much damage to me in the first place. Nice crit. Now, I also know there's a way to manipulate time in this game. And when it comes to collecting the, like, days of the week items, I'm definitely going to do that. Specifically, though, I'm hoping to get to Goldenrod by the time by tomorrow, basically. Now, I don't know if I'll record multiple episodes, or if I'll just say screw it and just change what day it is. But on Sunday, in Goldenrod City, if your Pokemon has high enough happiness, there's a lady there in the department store that will actually give you the TM for Return, which is a very, very powerful attack that we're going to be giving to Sentret. And Sentret's basically going to be our ace for a little while. As funny as that sounds. But, Sentret, I am most definitely going to be using the moveset that Mystic has for him. Because I really, really like the moveset. See, he went straight for a Tail Whip, so my Defense Curl is just going to bring my defense back to normal. But maybe that'll bait him into... No? I was going to say maybe it'll bait him into a another Tail Whip. Well, there's another tail whip. Now my defense has actually been lowered. And he just goes for another tail whip, so I take very minimal damage. Excellent. Now this guy has a level 2 Pidgey and a level 4 Rattata. Fun fact, if you actually try to go this way when you're trying to go up to Mr. Pokemon's house, you'll actually find that these two trainers are actually in the middle of a trainer battle. And they're, of course, blocking the road, forcing you to go to Mr. Pokemon's house instead, forcing you to take the other path. But we went ahead and used our defense curl. Pidgey's only doing 2 damage, which is actually more than I thought it would be doing. After the defense curl, anyway. But it's not a lot, still. I'm gonna go ahead and use another defense curl. And its tail whip failed, so we actually have 2 defense boosts now for him to have to tail whip through. So now that he's lowered our defense, we still have our defense curl raising it by 1. So he's still not going to hit us as hard. Now our defense is back to normal, but it's too late. Now Centric's level 7. Now, the reason I said that we're probably going to have Furret by the time we face Falkner is because there's actually quite a few trainers around. And, of course, I'm going to fight them all, obviously. But Centret actually evolves at level 15. Now, compared to what level Falkner is, that's very, very over-leveled. But, well, I'm actually thinking about it, and Bellsprout gives very good experience. So I'm thinking maybe I can actually wait and use that for a bunch of really free experience for Hoppip when I catch it. That actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. We have to wait for Hoppip to get a damaging move, obviously, but Mystic actually recommends teaching it Headbutt from the TM you find in Helix Forest, which is in the next town over after Violet City here. And until it gets a damaging move, Hoppip is only going to be swap training anyway. Like, period. There's nothing I can do about that. But what I can do well, I don't know if I can do it, but what I will do, if I can, is the cave you have to go through after Violet City here. There's a TM for Swift in there. And I could teach Swift to Hoppip if it can learn it. If it can't, then I'll have to wait, but I'll have to check something out after this episode. Won't be a big deal. Won't be a big deal at all. If I can't teach it Swift, I might not wait because by the time I get Headbutt, there's probably going to be other trainers that I can, or wild Pokemon that I can just Headbutt to death. And do it that way, instead of going back and training on level 3 Bellsprouts. But it all depends. I mean, you only get Flash, and unlike Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the Bellsprout Tower is not mandatory. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you have to do Bellsprout Tower before facing Faulkner. But they also very much increased Faulkner's Pokemon levels in that game, so... In the original Gen 2 games, his Pidgeotto, his Ace, is only level 9. In Heart Gold, Soul Silver, it's like level 14, I think. So it's actually much more powerful. We're already at a stage where I would feel somewhat comfortable with just going straight to the gym. Probably not going to, probably going to wait till level 9. But yeah. Eccentric, more than capable. Right here, right now. I would have to use berries, I would have to use potions, but I could just go straight in there right now. And with him being so close to leveling up, I want to get this wild encounter before I head into the city. But the game does not want to... There we go. A Kakuna. That's not the wild encounter I wanted. This is gonna take a minute. But we'll beat it up. And it's guaranteed gonna level us up, so... Not a big deal. I'm actually speed tying with this Kakuna. It's kind of sad. My Sentret must have very poor speed. I don't think that's a big deal either. There is the Quick Claw that I can give it. Later on, it'll give it a chance to go first, no matter what. As long as there's no priority moves in play, like Quick Attack. Doesn't Sentret learn Quick Attack? At some point? He probably does. He's a normal type. I say that like all normal types learn Quick Attack. Can you imagine a freaking Snorlax that learns Quick Attack? That'd be hilarious. Anyway. We're here in Violet City. I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode here. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!